Of things that blow my mind. So I watched a movie yesterday, and I'm trying to watch all of the Christopher Nolan movies because I like his movies. And I checked out Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan movie. Dunkirk. I liked it. It was good. So, okay, I was doing some shrooms, as always, because when I watch a Nolan movie, I know it's gonna be better if I ingest some shrooms. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I had no fucking idea what was going on in this movie for like the first hour. No idea at all. Zero idea. I was lost. I was like, okay, so then there's a guy in a plane. And then there's a sinking ship, and then they're on the beach, and then... So anyway, then I realized, it dawned on me, the point of the movie is that war has no point. There is no story. There is no plot. That's the point. I get it, okay? So, it's a good movie. Basically, it shows a bunch of people losing in a battle in World War II. English forces, French forces just getting their fucking shit kicked in. And how, like, people just die in the dumbest ways imaginable in war, right? So you got, like, motherfuckers waiting on a dock to get on a ship to go home. And they just get bombed and they die. Yo, there's the one scene in this movie where, like, the ocean was on fire because there's, like, oil in the water. And the ocean's on fire. So motherfuckers are they're under the water, and they can't breathe, because, they don't have gills, they're humans, they need oxygen. But, like, what's above them, above the water, is the ocean's on fire. What do you do in that scenario? It's fucked up. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this movie, watching this on shrooms was a challenge, because, like, one, I was trying to figure out what the plot was. And, like, before I knew that there was no plot, I was like, okay, so this character's doing this, and then they're there, and then carry the three, and then... There's also, like, the in my opinion, the best part of the movie is when the teenager who, like, really wants to, like, help people in the war, and they're like, they're like 17 or whatever, happy-go-lucky kid, wants to just help people, and him and his family get on a ship to, like, go and, like, get supplies out to the soldiers and, like, help some of them back that are injured or whatever. So they find a pilot who's stranded in the middle of the ocean, and they bring him on the ship, and that pilot's got some severe PTSD, and there's, like, a struggle on the ship, and then eventually this teenager, for no reason, he falls down the stairs, hits his head, and dies. For no reason. A teenager just gets killed for no reason at all. He didn't even make it into the war. He got killed by, like, his own army. They tried to save a soldier, and that soldier freaked out, and then, like, it wasn't on purpose. It's not like he tried to kill the kid, but it's all incidental. Anyway, but, like, damn, like, what a movie. I like watching this movie before I realized that the point of the movie was that it's, like, really hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. Like, I was like, and then it's got, like, that very typical Christopher Nolan soundtrack where, like, the music is, like, extremely anxiety-inducing. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's very atypical, of course, if you, like, compare it to all of, like, the sci-fi thrillers that Nolan does, of course. But, I liked it. I was into it. If Nolan's going to make a war movie, I think it's pretty good. At the end of the movie, when there's, like, an evacuation, and all the soldiers that got fucked up and almost died and stuff, they're on the train back home, right? Like, some fella is, like, just congratulating them and saying, like, thanks and all that stuff. Some old guy who's, like, passing out, like, food and saying thank you. And then one of the soldiers is like, all we did is survive. And then the old fella's like, and that's enough. And that's the point of the movie. Like, if I'm in a war zone, I don't give a like, my goal is to get home. That's my goal, right? Like, I don't care what the scenario is. I'm not running out there and killing myself over some stupid shit. right? My goal is to make it home, and that's kind of the point of the movie. Is that like there's a bunch, and all the other thing about this movie that I enjoy is that most of the characters are all extremely young. Like they look like, again, one of the characters that dies is a 17-year-old. They all look like they're fresh, like young soldiers that were just sent in there just for the sake of being cannon fodder. And so it's like all these young kids are just getting their fucking brains blown out, and it's really violent. There's so much to it. Like it's just, I don't know, it's a good movie. I'm not usually into war movies, you know, like it's just not really my thing. I mean, I like war movies if they're like fictional, but like, I don't know. To me, I don't like a lot of war movies because they're usually propagandistic, but this was a good war movie. I endorse it. I really struggled to figure out what was going on, but then I realized that that's the point. I remember like there's barely any dialogue in this movie for like the first like 40 minutes. So I remember, now keep in mind, I did shrooms for this. And so I remember like thinking that I was in the first 10 minutes of the movie. And then like I paused the movie to go pee or whatever. And it was like 45 minutes into the movie. And I was like, the movie is halfway over? I was just because there was no plot. There was no plot at all. Right? And so I was just like, I was just under the impression that it was going to get to the plot at some point. And so I was experiencing some significant time dilation. And then I realized, a couple minutes later after resuming the movie that there is no plot. And the point of the movie is that war sucks. And that, the only reason, like the only goal that you should have if you're in a war zone is to survive. That's it. Anyway, good movie. Dunkirk, not as good as the sci-fi movies from Nolan, I would say, but as far as a war movie goes, a World War II movie, if Nolan's going to make one, I'm in. Sign me up. It's a good one. So, there you go.